Hello, Peninsula. It's Pastor Jim here. March Madness begins today. We're gearing up for college basketball, but we're also gearing up for the climax and commitment Sunday of Daring Hope, which is March 31st, a week from Sunday. Last Sunday, we met in the fellowship hall for worship, and we gave self-guided tours. We got a lot of questions during that tour, so I thought if you missed the tour, number one, or number two, if you have questions, I'd like to answer some of the questions that came up. And so we're going to do a quick tour. Here we go. We're starting with the patio back there. We're walking toward the fellowship hall. We're going to use this sidewalk as the main entrance. We will demo these doors, open them up. They'll look just like the windows in the lobby or the doors in the lobby into the worship center. Get the door open, it's a good thing. We'll come in here. This will become a brand new lobby space for the transition between the outside and the inside. We'll put a wall up here to enclose this space, have a little sound and tech booth area right here with storage wrapping behind. Take the wall down that's in the current lobby on the other side of that wall, make that all storage. So we have a place to put chairs, tables, so we can clean up the space for game times or whatever we might need to do. Here we are in the existing lobby entrance into the fellowship hall. There are two questions that came up several times last weekend I'd like to address. One was the smallness of the restrooms. We had actually talked about that. Nagy would love this space to become part of the restroom. It was just decided at this point the budget would be pretty pushed if we did that. It'd be a lot of expense to do that. It's something we certainly plan on doing in the future. The other question is an elevator up to the second floor, which the elders will decide what we do. If the issues are finances and space, how much of the storeroom are we willing to take up to build an elevator? So those are those questions that came up, but we're open, we're talking, we're praying, we're seeing how God leads. Into the fellowship hall itself. There technically is not a lot of work that needs to be done. It needs a new floor. Obviously, we'll get a new ceiling with ducting for heating and air conditioning up in the ceiling this time. We will wallboard over the lower windows. We will open up the light in the room by putting windows that match everything else in the rest of the facility. So those clear greenish tinted contemporary windows up above. We will paint, obviously, fix repairs, and buy new chairs, new furniture for this space. So it's just a big empty space, so we need to bring it up to date. Let's walk into the kitchen. We've arrived in the kitchen, a place needing some work. There are currently two sinks in the kitchen. Only one of the sinks actually has hot water. The other sink never has had hot water. So we're going to get rid of all the cabinets. We're going to put stainless steel countertops, wire rack shelves underneath, make a much more commercial kitchen, not a home kitchen. We'd like to really do a caterer's kitchen, so that because most of what we do in here is catering, not cooking. So Hanny Natchev and Kevin Nicolello are basically deciding everything and the design and what we need. They're both wonderful chefs. So we don't know yet if we need a new oven. The oven actually isn't very old, and everyone complains about the heat it produces. The reality is we have to have an oven with pilots, at least at the time we bought that oven. Commercial kitchens were not allowed electronic pilots. So you can complain all you want to, but talk to the city codes about the oven. But we'll see what we can do. I've got to talk to Nagy and see what's allowable these days. We will get new appliances, shift them from this side to that side. We're going to remove some of this wall and probably put like a dishwashing center back here in the corner. We'll eliminate that door to the outside. We're going to, back here, we're going to wall this off and create all of this space back here as locked storage. We're going to move that door that's back there out to here. We'll gut all of this, wire shelves the whole way to create much more usable storage for us. What else in the kitchen? There'll be a center island. There's talk about the doors moving. We'll see what happens in the final rendering. Nagy and Hanny and Kevin will meet together to kind of drop the final plans. There's a coffee station out there, which I don't really know what that means, but we'll figure it out. It's going to be a really nice, usable, functional space for most of what we do in terms of catering and the limited cooking that we do in here. Let's go on outside, see what's going on out there. As we come out of the kitchen, one of the things Nagy would like us to do is to extend this hallway and this interior space out to, I imagine, about here. And so we capture enough space under a roof to then create a new door into the fellowship hall, which will center things up in there and provide a little sound and visual buffer between the kitchen and the fellowship hall. As we go up the stairs, there are 3 stairwells up to the 2nd level between the 2 buildings. They are all not meeting current code, and they're kind of dilapidated. So we are going to replace all 3 of these stairwells so they'll be matching and up to code and safe and secure. The decking on the top floor we were never able to do. So all of the decking from both buildings, all of this exterior decking we will replace, or not replace, but we're going to cover it so that it's safe, it's skid-free, and will help kids be safe, and it'll look a ton better. As we walk down the hallway in the Fellowship Hall building, the first storeroom will stay as is. The second storeroom, the wall between it and the classroom space will be eliminated. We will divide this larger room then into 2 classrooms. Here, we'll have 2 decent-sized classrooms. We will take the space that was the HIV storage closet and with all the HVAC equipment, and we will make a storeroom there. We will gut the 2 bathrooms. They have to be ADA compliant by code, and so there will be only space for 1 single person bathroom, so that will go here. Around the corner, we have the Chinese church office. We already have the window so that when we get the HVAC going, we can remove the air conditioner to have a regular window here. We will redo this classroom space, bring it up to the standards of the education building, and that's the scope really of the work here. We'll take care of the roof if we have funds. It's rotting and 40 years old, and so we need to deal with the roof in that building. The exterior painting, if we have enough funds for that. So that's the goal, that's the project, that's where we're headed. March 31st is Commitment Sunday. We'll see how God has moved and where we are. We have a plan, a budget of $1.3 million. We already have $327,000 in commitments, so we're just praying and seeing what God's going to do here in Daring Hope. Thanks for listening.